As a finance professional in a disrupted business landscape, what does it take to be in demand? What does it take to attract great paying international roles? If you're an ICAN member, it'll just take one exam. That's all it takes to complete the globally recognized CIMA professional qualification and the internationally respected CGMA designation. As a CIMA member and a CGMA designation holder, employers will look at you as a finance professional, constantly acquiring new skills to add value to the business. That's why they'll be willing to pay premium to hire and retain you. If you have 5 years of relevant experience and are an ICAN member, you can directly sit for the final exam of the CIMA Professional Qualification, the Strategic Case Study exam. Start studying the CIMA Professional Qualification. Prepare to make an impact.
Good evening, professional colleagues. Good evening, friends of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. Good evening, our students and ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to welcome back all our viewers after having a kind of break last week for the 52nd Annual Accountant Conference, which was a mind-blowing, outstanding success once again for our institute, which we congratulate the 58th president and the governing council of our institute, with all the members who partook, the delegates who are out there in Abuja and those that connected for virtually. It was an outstanding success with over 6,000 members participating in the annual accountant conference. And today we are back with another topical issue, just like I promised you last week, Thursday, that we will be bringing your way another topic. And today, being the Tuesday, 18th day of the month of October, we will be talking on impact of emerging technology on accounting and audit profession. Sincerely speaking, if you are at the 52nd Annual Accountant Conference, you will know that things are changing sporadically, and technology seems to be the intake things. As we talked about sustainability, even for economic prosperity, technology plays a very major and critical role, even when we picked up on the entrepreneurship. And that's why we want to again emphasize this with our topic that we are sharing today. And it is my pleasure to be guesting Mr. Olawale Olashile Abiola, who will definitely be my guest today. Abiola is a member of our great institute with over 2 decades of experience to his credit, and that spans across accounting, audit, tax management consulting, corporate finance, treasury, business process transformation, leadership, to mention a few. He's also a member of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, fellow also of the Institute of Management Consultant, associate member of Certified Cost Management, and lot of all. He is a double honor of a first-class honor, which he bagged from his master's degree in 2019 and 2020. Also an alumnus of the Lagos Business skill. He has his work experience, which span over 2 decades, with 12 years in multinational tax practice, manufacturing, banking, finance and management, oil and gas, telecoms. He has saw it all, and he started his career, worked with Gateway Ventures, Limited Beauty Consulting, to mention just a few. He has managed successfully various multi-billion dollar projects for different companies during his career. He's a regular facilitator at the ICAN Mandatory and Continuous Professional Development and other business seminars and conferences. Like I said, he is currently a partner and co-founder of AO and FA Consulting, a managing partner of Olawale Abiola and Co., a firm of chartered accountants. Sincerely speaking, we are ready to fire on a great cylinder this particular evening. And let me quickly go on a very short break, knowing fully well that commercials sustain this program all the time, and that's why we encourage you to bring in your products and services for us to promote for you, because this is a platform that we have a global connectivity. Please stay tuned. I will be right back shortly. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. As our usual tradition, let me welcome our guest for today, Mr. Olawale Abiola, FCA. Good evening and welcome to ICAN on Air.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Sheson Kwade. Thank you very much. And good evening, dear professional colleague, and also all the participants here. Thank you for the opportunity and the privilege to be able to share knowledge on this very disruptive topic, to our
Oh,
profession.
wonderful. And yeah, we are talking on the impact of emerging technology on accounting and audit profession. Let me start like this, Mr. Abiola. Emerging technology appears to be another slogan in the air, and it's a global word that we're using now. As an expert going through your resume, our global viewers, we want to learn more from your wealth of experience of knowledge. What exactly is the emerging technology? What does it mean?
Okay, yeah, thank you, Mr. Sheson Kwade. As I've said, this is a very disruptive topic to our profession, with accounting, tax, and also an audit. And I hope that I'll be able to share my view here for members to pick knowledge from. Of course, emerging technology is everywhere. It's not only our profession that is affecting, but of course, we are going to look at it in area that affect us as an accountant, and of course, as also as auditor. Of course, when you hear the word, when you hear the phrase emerging technology, what comes to your mind is okay, something new is coming. But it's a time that is generally used to describe a new technology. Technology have always been existing. Of course, we have some new technology that are coming on. We have some emerging one, the latest one that are coming. So emerging technology, they are technology whose development, of course, practical application of both are still largely unrealized, of course, that are figuratively emerging into prominence from a background of non-existent or into obscurity. When we talk about emerging technology, we talk about digital tools, digital tools which represent new and significant development within a particular field. In our own field now, of course, we look at areas how we do our work in a traditional manner. Of course, we have technology that are coming in that are changing it. So emerging technology, there are set of technology that are being generated and tested and as a result of the success of the innovation. So it forms an important part, of digital transformation. We've heard the word digital transformation, of course, and I'm a great ambassador of digital transformation. So digital transformation, emerging technology come hand in hand. So when we talk about emerging technology, we talk about a form of digital transformation into the business, changing the way we do things, bringing solutions to a problem, creating a new way to solve a problem from the existing solution that we have. Probably maybe before we might use maybe probably 10 hours to solve a problem because we use a particular traditional way or probably a technology. But of course, emerging technology are latest technology that are coming up to ensure to reduce the time that is being used to solve that problem into the very minimal time.
Mm. That's a very wonderful submission, expatiating and explaining to our viewers what emerging technology is all about. Let me just ask this question. Can you run us through some features or characteristics of this emerging technology that we're talking about?
Okay, well, I mean, when we talk about emerging technology, one key thing that is very certain is that it's going to bring change. It's going to bring destructive change. Emerging technology will bring destructive change in terms of that there are a lot of things that we are used to, which the emerging technology will not allow us to use again. So it will bring a new way to do things. It will bring a very fast and of course, very fast way and easier way to solve problem. Of course, another key feature is about fast growth. If you look at the growth rate of companies that are into technology and companies that are not into technology, you see that the growth rate is very fast. Let me give an example. Example is looking at the banking industry. You see that the rate the banking industry grew before these emerging companies were existed. You cannot compare to the rate where you have the like of the fintechs, the like of Paystack, the like of quite a number of them, Stripes, and so what emerging technology is going to do is that it's going to be relatively very fast growth to many industries, and that is the industry that embrace the technology. That's to the professions that the profession that embrace technology, and of course that's to the professionals that embrace the technology. Of course, it's going to bring a great impact. It's going to bring a great impact to every profession that embrace for the dark technology. There's no doubt about it. Emerging technology is going to bring a lot of uncertainty, into our field. Thank you.
Those are good and unique features that you have highlighted there. But this will link me to it. You mentioned something while you are bringing out those unique features, those characteristics, saying that part of the things is disruptive change. I want to ask, considering your expertise in this field, that emerging technology and disruptive technology, are they the same? Or they have shared some similarities, or they are totally different.
Okay, now what comes to my mind is that there's been quite a lot of usage of emerging technology and disruptive technology. But let me say it this way: every disruptive technology is an emerging technology, but not every emerging technology is a disruptive technology. I'll
Okay.
take it again. Every disruptive technology is an emerging technology, but not every emerging technology is a disruptive technology. Now,
Mm,
there's what called disruptive technology, there's what called a sustainable technology. Now, sustainable technology are technology that is already in existence. For example, now maybe you have a software, you have a program that's been running, then of course you now have maybe a bigger data or there is a change in the mode of the data. So you can bring a sustainable technology to incorporate the existing technology. So it's not destructive, it's still the same thing. Whereas disruptive technology is a technology that comes into existence that change the total modality of the way things are done. So
mm,
you can say emerging technology is a disruptive technology. You can also say sustainable technology to a level you can say it's an emerging, but not every so the technology can be called about an emerging technology. So every disruptive technology is an emerging technology, but not every emerging technology is a disruptive technology.
that is a wonderful submission from Mr. Abiola. Not every emerging technology is destructive, but every destructive is an emerging one. Let me go this route by saying, how does this emerging technology that we're talking about align with the business and corporate goals in terms of profitability, corporate governance, compliance with regulatory services, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, thank you very much. See, emerging technology goes a long way in affecting the level of profitability of a business. It affects the level of profitability of business. It affects the level of corporate governance. It affects the level of the corporate culture. It affects the level of even the leadership style of every business organization. For example, now there's what they call NDPR. NDPR is a Nigeria Data protection regulation, which is a public call from the GDPR, which is given by NIDA. NIDA is the Nigeria Information Technology Development Agency. It's more or like data protection. It is expected that every business should have a data policy. Many Nigerians and many, even auditors now. As an auditor, if I go to a firm, if I go to a company and I want to audit you, one of the questions that will ask now, do you have a data policy? So what am I saying? Now, when we talk about emerging technology, we are talking about looking at it, draining it down to Nigeria is what leads to us to how we call the NDPR. So now, if as a company you don't have a data policy, is a problem, especially if a company that you have private information of customers, of public with you. So emerging technology affects the profitability of the company in the sense that any business that fails to incorporate emerging technology into their business operation, of course, you lose customer. Losing customer means you are going to lose revenue. Of course, when your revenue goes down, your profitability, of course, will go down. Your corporate culture, it affects your corporate culture. Now, we are now in a day whereby you have the millennials. They want to work in an area where there's emerging technology. So if your corporate culture is on hostile, then of course definitely there'll be a lot of problems. You know attract the right talent. So of course the level of your corporate culture is also there. So emerging technology cut across a lot of things within the business, which I hope and I believe that for business to incorporate into that. And most importantly, data policy. Data policy is very, very important. Every accountant and every auditor, whether you're in private sector or you're a practicing accountant, every business must have a data policy. If time permits me, I might share more about it, because data policy is another way where we accountants, can make a lot of revenue. There are a lot of business opportunity which have not at all, been maximized as is expected.
Very definitely, we'll go into that, because I know for every professional, we are always out there to see how to increase the bottom line and generate more revenue, diversify into other areas, because that's what we are trained to do. Mr. Abiola, as we continue, let me state to our viewers who are globally connected. I can see Babajide all the way from Cardiff in UK, and those that are here are frequent viewers, and those that are connected with us newly. I've been guesting Mr. Olawale Abiola on the impact of emerging technology on accounting and audit profession. You can bring in your question, because this is a topical issue. There seems to, not too long did I start hearing about the Gen Z, the Gen Z. Those are the people that are making things happening before they kick some of us out of the profession. So technology is very key. But Mr. Abiola, before I fill in the question from our viewers, are there emerging technology, this emerging technology we are talking about, have they come to replace the existing technology, or they have actually come to complement the ones that we have?
Well, let me say, emerging technology, some of them will come to complement in terms of sustainable, and some of them will start to totally take away in terms of destructive. But the ones that are sustainable are the ones that we are used to. It's just like you are upgrading the way it is being done, upgrading the technology. You are bringing it to a higher level to be able to incorporate it into the business, or probably incorporate it to an environment. So but the one that are challenging, the one that is in a hand that are most concerned, are the one that are destructive. They are the one that are destructive. They are the one that are coming in and changing the way things are done entirely. So they are the one that is concerned in the way we do things. For example, now, in our audit profession, I can tell you confidently that we are getting to a level whereby audit sampling will not be required anymore. Because once you want to go and audit, a technology company, you not go there with paper. You go and do what? You're just wasting your time. So a digital auditor will have his own program. in order to be able to input into the program of the client and of course do 100%. We are not in an era whereby out of 20 you just want to do 10 or you want to do 19. The only one that you fail to do can be the record that they perpetrated for. So the system is there, the technology is there for you as an auditor to ensure that you do 100% sampling with the shortest period of time. So emerging technology is there, Disruptive is there, of course, all of them come together, and of course that will help us to do our job in a better way.
Yeah, let me quickly recognize Mr. Fagbola Adeniyi, all the way from Ibadan, and he has posed a question to our guest today. He is asking you, Mr. Abiola, is there any negative impact of emerging technology on the ease of doing business across board on a sustainable basis?
Yes, I will start with this. Yes, there is a lot of negative. I won't lie to you. Many concerns. Many concerns. We have seen what is happening in the war between Ukraine and Russia. We've seen there's what they call a smart tech. There's what they call smart weapon. Gone are the days whereby you want to use biological weapon. With smart weapon, you can kill a whole city within seconds with data. So now, MI technology is very good. There's no doubt about it. But of course, it has its own faults and it has its own negative impact. Number one major thing is that, of course, it's going to take a lot of job for human being. There'll be a lot of job. There'll be a lot of job loss for human being. You see the likes of robots taking jobs for human being. Then, of course, there'll be a lot of negative use of the technology, especially to nations that are bigger, compared to the smaller nations. So, I mean, as I also preach the gospel according to digital transformation, I also say that there must be AI governance. There must be governance. There must be emerging technology governance. Because there's no governance. If there's no governance, everything will go out of control. It's going to go out of control. So the major issue here is that there'll be loss of job, of course, and there'll be bad use of that technology if not controlled and if there's no appropriate governance in place.
Oh, yeah. Before I come to Mr. Olusoji, let me quickly bring this question home. Talking about we professional and chartered accountant. I want you to just state some of the emerging technology that are currently influencing accounting and audit.
Well, we have quite a number of them. We have quite a number of them, but the number one of them is artificial intelligence.
Hmm.
Artificial intelligence. I have to tell you, as an auditor, I have to go for a course on artificial intelligence in order to make my work better. I have to go for a course on artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is something that's very key, and it's an emerging technology. Well, I mean, it's emerging, but I can tell you it's not something that is totally new, but it's gaining more impact, in the world. Artificial intelligence is just probably putting on the program to do what human being can do. We have artificial intelligence. We have what we call a collective intelligence. Collective intelligence is human intelligence. Artificial intelligence, of course, is machine. That's where we talk about algorithm. You talk about what the machine learning. Of course, we also have the one of 5G. 5G is there. We're talking about it's one of the emerging technology that is going to affect our work. Fine, in Nigeria today, MTN have launched 5G, but I can tell you the 5G that has been launched by MTN is just for a dedicated number of people. We hope that as time goes on, I mean, our infrastructure and of course a lot of things we put in place for 5G to eventually run into. We also have Internet of Things. We have robotics. We have robotics. They just say that, oh, accountant, your job is not important again. It's only robots that will take your job. I can tell you as an accountant and as a technology person, that is not true. It's not possible. There is no machine that can work on its own. Chartered accountants are still relevant. So we have quite a number of technologies that are going to be a lot of disruptive to us. As I've mentioned, artificial intelligence, I've mentioned 5G technology, I've mentioned Internet of Things, I've mentioned robotics. Blockchain is also there. Blockchain is also there. Biometrics is there. We have serverless companies that are quite a number of them which are coming and of course that will affect our work as an accountant.
That is great. Talking about some of the things that we talk about when we talk about emerging technology, i.e., IoT, that is Internet of Things, robotics, blockchain. We've had series of such here. And your last statement will take me to this question by
Okay.
saying, what are the roles that you feel accountant now needs to play in the evolution of this emerging technology? You just said it now that Several people are saying that our work is being threatened. But he said no. So what are the roles that chartered accountants are expected to play?
Okay, let me start with this. As powerful as emerging technologies are or are expected to become, they are nevertheless not substitute for the work of an accountant or an auditor, because auditors' knowledge, judgment, and exercise of professional skepticism is still very, very, very important. Now, what does that mean? Accountants, we are still very relevant. We are still very, very relevant. We have key roles. We have key roles to play. Now, I'm going to look at it in the angle of an accountant working in the private sector or working in a public sector. I'm also going to look at it in the angle of an auditor, a practicing accountant. The first role that we have as an accountant is to support the AI project. Support it anywhere you see emerging technology, talking about AI, you see business that want to go into emerging technology, probably they want to change their technology. Sometimes you see that the accountant that will go against it, that no. No, we don't there's no money, no budget for it. We cannot let's turn it to next year, and of course you see your competitors. The competitors are doing things and you want to turn it to next year. You are going against. So as an accountant, our number one role is to support emerging technology projects, whether as an auditor or as an accountant. Not only support, we have to get involved into it. You cannot get involved into it if you don't get the knowledge. So which means we have to get the knowledge. It's a war. See, it is a war that's been declared by the emerging technologies. It has declared a war. And I can tell you one of the key people that can lead that war is a chartered accountant. It's a chartered accountant that can lead that war. We have to get involved into it, but also our role. Our role is data collection, organizing it, and of course analyzing the data in terms of financial, most especially, and sometimes not financial. Of course, data integrity, that's one of our roles. We have to ensure the integrity of data that will be used in programming this emerging technology. And as I've also said, that of course, when you come into the emerging technology, there will be need to train people. Training people will not come, free. So there will be need for us as an accountant to ensure, to educate other departments for budget provision for training. And of course, we also have to ensure fairness, objectivity, and transparency at any time when that is given to us. So it will be a case of, because the emerging technology is only for IT. No, please let us know. When you hear emerging technology, it's not about IT. It's everybody has to be involved. Everybody is using smartphone today. Everybody is using smartphone. So if everybody is using smartphone, then an accountant and even everybody in the organization should get involved into it. An accountant should also take the lead in it to ensure what data integrity of that emerging technology.
Yeah, accountants should take the lead in whatever has to do with the emerging technology. The incoming thing is not about the people in IT, but based on our trading, we can get involved in some of the things. Olusoji is actually asking a question. Even though I know you are not a politician, I need to read this. That is asking, why is Nigeria not riding on the emerging technology to have some of the things that we are using currently? Why is Nigeria not adopting this emerging technology?
Well, of course, if you ask me, I'm not a politician also. So, but with my experience and what I've seen in the economy, let me say this. Basically, I can tell you confidently that most emerging technologies that you have, around the world, you have one way or the other, you have a Nigerian getting involved into it. You have a Nigerian that can mix it of it or probably taking the lead. The person that is taking the lead in manufacturing of drone for US Army is a Nigerian. The guy is a Nigerian. So we can ask our question: why is our government probably not mixed of it? Of course, it's something that they know that it's going to change a lot of things. As I've said, one of the major features of emerging technology is change. It's going to be changed. There will be a lot of people that will lose their jobs. So, and of course, when you look at the cost, when you look at the benefits, you look at the interest, you look at the political will. There might not be political will for them to incorporate it. I'm aware there's a digital economy policy, which is good, but it's not about just writing it in document. It's about implementation. It's about implementation. It's about putting the right people in the right place. You cannot bring somebody that have never touched a laptop in his life to come and head a particular something that relates to emerging technology. It's not possible. You are not going to get results. You get it. So it's about political will.
Having the political will is very, very key and very germane. Uh, Let me say, what are the business opportunity, if I may ask, that are in this emerging technology for chartered accountant and audit firm?
Well, there are quite a lot of opportunity. Quite a lot of opportunity. I have mentioned one, and I will start from that. But let me say this before that: for every accountant and for every auditor, you know, to get involved or to take part in the business opportunity in the emerging technology, number one, the person must be a digital chartered accountant.
Hmm.
Gone are the eras whereby you just call yourself a chartered accountant. Oh, are you a tax accountant or are you an auditor? You must be a digital chartered accountant. Who is a digital chartered accountant? A digital chartered accountant, in addition to be a chartered accountant, has the competency, has the competency to be able to make use of emerging technology, of latest technology, to carry out his day-to-day activities of work. So, number one thing, you must be a chartered accountant. I mentioned the opportunity about data policy. Data policy is there. If you are working in an organization and you discover that you don't have a data policy, maybe you are the CFO or you are not the CFO, speak to the right leader in the organization that there's a need for us to have a data policy. And of course, if you do that, it's an opportunity for you to grow in that business. If you're an auditor, what I do as an auditor, most auditors that I audit, once I go there, they don't have data policy. I will tell them, I will let them know the importance of this, especially if they are companies that have private data of public, individuals. So I will let them know. I'll bring the document to them. The NDP, come, you need to have this. And of course, if they want to engage me, it will be different from my audit fee. That will be a different engagement entirely. Are you with me? So now, of course, not only that, you see business that want to move from the traditional method, to the latest method. They will need a chartered accountant to help them to see if they have the financial capacity to do that. So, and as a chartered accountant, if you are going to do that, you will do that free. That's a business opportunity. I am talking from the angle where I, as a person, as a practicing accountant, where I make my money. And so there also be need. If you look at it, there are businesses that want to move from the old technology or probably to the emerging technology. There will be need for them to review their existing accounting system to see if the accounting system can incorporate the latest technology. They will need a chartered accountant to do that. A chartered accountant will do that, and that chartered accountant will not do it free. So quite a lot of experience and quite a lot of business opportunities are there for imagine for chartered accountant in imagine what the technology.
Lot of business opportunity for the digital chartered accountant in this emerging technology world. To our viewers, I'm still guesting Mr. Olawale Abiola, who has been talking to us and doing justice to some of the impact of the emerging technology on accounting and audit profession. Olayinka, one of our viewers, is asking this question that is there any way that we can track transactions of the digital economy for sustainable growth?
Well, let me say yes. One of the key features of emerging technology, when we talk about emerging technology, talk about the digital economy, talk about sustainable economy. A digital economy is an economy that is driven by the latest technology. And of course, if you are driven by the latest technology, then it will lead to a sustainable water economy. Every transaction, that's blockchain technology, every transaction will be able to be traced. There will be no way to hide any transaction. Compared to the manual process. Manual process, there might be possibility to hide transaction like we have in Astais, in Nigeria. Probably when there's fraud in a particular ministry. I don't want to mention name. You always see fire in the account department. That will not happen in the digital economy. A digital economy that is truly run as a digital economy, not mixed. You call it a digital economy, then they see part of it that are not digital. So digital economy, every transaction in digital economy will be easy for tracing at any time. And of course, that will help and will assist and will encourage what a sustainable economy.
Yeah, I'm sure you are aware that last week we had our 52nd annual accountant conference, and the theme was adopting sustainability for economic prosperity. How did the overall conference align with the emerging technology?
Well, I will tell you that the conference have done a lot of things. It has assisted and helped a lot of things. Adopting sustainability for economic prosperity. You cannot adopt sustainability in the current world that we had here without emerging technology. And I'm very happy that one of the sessions of the conference, dealt with digital transformation. So digital transformation, emerging technology is very important for every serious government to achieve its economic goal. You cannot, no government can achieve a sustainable economic growth without the emerging technology. And let me say this as an economist: the problem of every developed economy is economic growth, and the problem of every underdeveloped economy is economic development. We as a developing economy, our problem is not really economic growth. Our problem is economic development. So if we need to transform more to economic growth, to economic development, for sustainable level of economic development, then there's a need for us to embrace more the emerging technology. So what the conference have helped to do is for us to see, to our government to see, to open up, and for us to see the importance of us as a nation. In addition to us just calling ourselves a digital economy, we need to implement it. We need to put it to use. And I'm happy that, of course, the forthcoming election, as we said by INEC, that is going to be 100% technology. I want to believe that that will be done. If that will be done, of course, that would be a great thing. But of course, and I always say that we cannot run emerging technology on generator. It's not possible. We have to solve our power problem. So sustainable there, talking about digital economy, talking about emerging the technology, of course, we need to embrace it and ensure that we are able as a nation to move to the level that we would like to move as a nation.
That is a great submission by Mr. Olawale Abiola, who have been doing justice to our topic today. I want to quickly go on a very short break to have a small commercial. When we come back, we'll continue to deal with Mr. Olawale Abiola, who has been doing justice to our topic today. Please stay tuned. I'll be right back to continue with the show. Welcome back, and I've been guesting Mr. Wale Abiola, who have been discussing with us the impact of the emerging technology on accounting profession and audit and accounting profession. Welcome back, Mr. Abiola.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, while we continue, let me tell our viewers that it's important for you to bring your product and your services on this globally connected program where you have people to patronize you. And you can always do that by contacting our corporate department headed by Mrs. Owolabi, as you have on your screen not too long ago. Contact them and we can assure you that your product and services, we take that the quantum leap and the wide coverage that is expected of it for good patronage. While we are continuing, Mr. Abiola, let me state that criminality is criminality, and it keeps evolving with its attendants' sophistication. Could you run us through the likely fraud sophistication that may come with this emerging technology? In other words, are we likely to also see emerging fraud?
Well, to a level, I would say yes. Every solution comes with its own problem. Every emerging technology comes with its own risks, and it comes with its own fraud. And one key thing I've mentioned, for example, an example is smart weapon. I'm sorry, this is a live program. I won't be able to play video. I would love to play video for people to see. I love to share video anytime I'm talking. Now, there's what we call a smart weapon. Smart weapon definitely is built in replacement for biological weapon, and we've seen the like of it being used by bigger economy. That's it talks about a lot of risks. That's the risks we have in emerging technology. It's a major risk and it's a major thing that you're going to affect. So you could see bigger nations. You see bigger nations can use that, against the smaller nations that doesn't even have the financial capacity, to go for that. Another key major issue, for emerging technology is privacy violation. There are a lot of private information that be violated. You see that sometimes your information that probably you don't want to give to the public, emerging technology will release it even without your knowledge, and that is why we have the NDPR for the global. We have the GDPR. So protecting the private data of individuals to ensure that individuals their private information is not being shared, without it. And of course, I talked about artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence come in and together with machine learning and come together with the algorithm. Sometimes you see one of the major risks of emerging technologies are algorithm bias, caused by bad data. So you see people who do data, in a bad way, in order to get information to use it against, another person. Of course, another major risk is social economic inequality. Emerging technology, one of the major is social economic inequality. There will be a lot of inequality. People that have access to information, they have access to the technology, can use that technology, at the disadvantage of another thing. Of course, as I've said, I'm talking about a smart weapon. Then, of course, they call a weapon, autonomous. You see when you talk about smart weapon, once you release it works with data. Once you release it, you can't control it again. You can't control it. It's autonomous. It will go straight to hit the target, and that's a major risk. And there might be an error in the data. There might be error in the data that's being used. And once the data is being released, once the weapon is released, then that's it. Before you could call that corrected, there will be lack of transparency. There will be lack of transparency, and that's why I always say that there must be governance. I have always been preaching that there must be global governance, so that it can come in a way you can control it. It can control it, but if it's not control, if it's out of control, then it's going to be a lot of problem.
Very wonderful submission, talking about some of the things, the risks that are associated with this emerging technology in terms of smart weapon and autonomy, privacy violation, the AI, the machine learning, the social economic inequality, and you ended by saying we should put governance to it in such a way that we can bring so much regulation to regulate the activities, so that people's privacy will not just be flinging in the world.
Yes.
Well, as a Nigerian, let me pick this question while I still expect maybe one or two questions from our viewers if they are there. Let me say, as a Nigerian and a chartered accountant, someone who is currently experienced and working in Nigeria, please, can you give us your objective assessment of how prepared the Nigerian accountant is to be relevant and to cope with these changes that are emerging uh, technological wise in the accounting and audit practice? How prepared are we?
Oh, yeah. Let me say this. Frankly saying this, and I can tell you with authority, every chartered accountant that passed through ICAN examination is well prepared. Is well prepared to embrace this emerging technology. That's if the accountant is ready to embrace it. Let me give an example of myself. I'm a chartered accountant. I'm also a product of 8 years. I remember in my 8 year exam, I did what we call information technology. And from there, I've developed my interest in technology. I got to my professional level, then we used to call it MIS, Management Information System. Then my lecturer will look at me and say, Wale, are you sure you want to go into accounting line, you want to go into technology line? I say, well, anyone, let me go to both. Why am I saying this? We have been prepared. The structure of our coursework has got up to it has given us a level of foundation. But there's a but there. There's now need for every chartered accountant to take it further. To ensure that as this emerging technology is being released, try as much as possible to know what is it all about. And I can tell you, most of this information are free online. I can tell you, most of the things I've learned, some of the things, not most, some of the things I've learned, on emerging technology, they are online. The first time I heard about 5G was in 2015. I was in telecom sector, 2014 or so, yeah. Then what we have, it was 4G. We have 4G, we have 3G, we have 2G, we have 1G. If time will permit me, I might just run, but that will not permit me. Now, then what we have was 4G, and I was managing budget for network then. And of course, and the network guy was saying 5G. I said, no, it's not possible. Take it away. We are talking about 4G. He said, sir, it is possible. 5G is coming. It's going to change a lot of things. You know what I did? I asked the guy, can you please lecture me? Tell me what's all about. The guy, he gave me the foundational leg, and he gave me a book to read. I read through the book and I went online. That's why I be able to get myself prepared on 5G. So the 5G we are talking about today, I've learned this is 2014, 2015. I'm get myself prepared. So what am I saying? Every chartered accountant, you might not have the opportunity to work in technology company, but you have your software, you have your system, you have your laptop, you have your phone. It's not everything that is Instagram. It's not everything that is Facebook. Make valuable things with your life. You see, in developed economy, data is life. Data is really life. Data is not for you to be backbiting and to be doing. Data is for you to add knowledge to yourself. So every chartered accountant has been given that basic knowledge of the emerging technology through our course when we're writing account, but it's not left for you as an accountant to get yourself acquainted with that knowledge. Of course, you can call me an expert in technology. I'm fine, no problem. But I can tell you, I don't know everything. But the little that I knew are basic things that come up within my job, and basic things that I know that okay, it's been announced. Okay, I just get myself on to read. As I've said, I also went to training. I went to training for artificial intelligence, and I was like, okay, I need to know what's all about it. I need to know how it works. I want to see how it will affect my work. We are getting to a level, for example, now as an auditor. As I've said, yes, we are getting to a level whereby we do the sampling again. We are getting to a level whereby you sit down in your office and you want to do inventory counting. You don't need to go to client office. You just send drone in your office. You send a drone. I am telling you, we are getting to a level whereby audit firm will be competing with technology company for experts and for talent relating to technology. Why? Because as an audit firm, you need to get yourself acquainted with the emerging technology. And of course, you have the like of Apple, you like of Facebook. They want, of course, the latest. They want the latest the technology also. They also want the latest talent. So we are getting to a level whereby audit firm we go in great competition with the latest technology and of course with technology company.
While I take a question from Adeto Rogbenga, I will link it with this my question. You've spoke in a very vast way. I want to ask, what are the unique training? The unique training that a chartered accountant required to cope with this tsunami of changes that emerging technology is bringing to accounting and audit profession?
Yeah, I mean, the unit training basically is for you to look for area of interest. The emerging technology are very wide. They are wide. So, for example, now, if you're in private sector, you look at the industry that you have, look at the emerging technology that there, get yourself acquainted to it, get yourself trained. I used to say this: you are responsible for your success. When I was in paid employment, I don't leave my training in the hands of my employer. You are doomed if you try that. That's why at all time, when I was in paid employment, I'm always ahead of everybody. I want to know the lens. I will learn what the CFO is learning. So what you need to do to get yourself acquainted is that look at the area that you are, the industry that you operate. Look at the emerging technology that is there. Go for that training. And I can tell you some of those training, they are free online. If you can use Google very well, some of them are free online. As a chartered accountant, one of my best social media is LinkedIn. Why? Because LinkedIn is of free knowledge, many knowledge on LinkedIn. I'm not saying Facebook is not good. I'm not saying WhatsApp is not good. I'm not saying Instagram is not good. But I can tell you, a serious chartered accountant must have an active LinkedIn account. Many lessons on LinkedIn, many courses, free courses on LinkedIn that you can do on this emerging technology. So you can't know all, but pick the one that's relevant to your work, or probably the one that you know you like to do in the future. Then try and train yourself on it. Go for it online, and of course, you'll be able to learn more about it.
Yeah, Dr. Aseng is alluding to it. They're saying deliberate acquisition of knowledge is the key to stay are relevant. It is no longer an optional thing, but a survival strategy. That is
Yeah.
the word from Dr. Saying to buttress your point. Even Badmos is alluding to that, not leaving your training in the hands of your employer if you must survive. And then let me quickly pick a question also from Dr. Asay before we gradually coast up on the discussion of today. Is asking, what is the place of professional ethics in the emerging technology space?
Well, I can tell you as a practicing accountant, the place of professional ethics is very, very high. You cannot overemphasize it. It's very, very important. Because I could tell you with my little experience, going to a client office, you see what business are doing with the emerging technology, the kind of fraud business are using to use the fraud they are perpetrating with the emerging technology. So professional ethics is very important. There's going to be a threat. There's going to be a threat to the job of an accountant. There'll be threat. I'm telling you, there'll be threat to the job of an auditor, especially an auditor that doesn't have the knowledge of the emerging technology. So professional ethics is something that is still very relevant when you talk about emerging technology. In fact, they go hand in hand. You cannot talk about professional ethics. You cannot talk about emerging technology if you don't have good ethics. You cannot. You cannot at all. As I say, one of the key things that I've said, talking about governance is that I said it and I always say it anywhere, that where there is no control, there will definitely be abuse. So there is a need for global AI governance to ensure safety of human race. Now, I can say that, AI is good. I mean, no problem. Let's control it. Let's leave it to go all the way. But of course, ethics don't allow me to keep quiet. You will maybe to talk that this is good, but there's a need for us to put control on this. So you cannot talk about emerging technology if you don't have ethics. Ethics and emerging, they go hand in hand for a personal accountant and for a chartered accountant. Very important.
Sincerely speaking, you have marshaled out the point one way or the other to make sure that our viewers benefit greatly. Mr. Biola, sincerely speaking, time is not always our friend on this show. But in closing, let me state this. ICAN is always open to ideas. So good that you and we are member of this noble profession. We are open to ideas that will positively advance the growth of our members, most especially in the accounting and audit field, even in the Nigerian environment. What would be your general advice or suggestion to the Institute and our members regarding the readiness or the preparedness for the impact of this emerging technology on accounting and audit practice as a practitioner?
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Sheson Kumade. I can tell you, I mean, as a member of the Institute, I'm not just an ordinary member, active member. The Institute is doing a lot. Institute is doing a lot. And in addition to that, I believe the Institute can still do more. There's room for improvement. Number one, it starts with the exam. It starts with the exam syllabus of the students passing through our institute. There is a need to ensure constant renewal, constant updating of the syllabus of our institute to incorporate what the emerging technology. Gone are the days whereby you want to be doing partnership accounts, you want to be doing group accounts there. We should now get to a level whereby we train students. Students should be in the syllabus on how they can use the emerging technology to carry out work as a chartered accountant. There's a need for us to get to that level. Then of course, the institute is trying a lot in terms of training. The MCP is there. I can tell you, I'm very active with MCP. Quite a number of training, to ensure that members are there. But in addition to that, I believe that the institute should put more control in place, so that it will be a case of, let me just attend and earn my credit hour. It should go beyond that. It should go beyond that. So there should be the need to put in place to ensure that in addition for you to earn your credit hour, you should actually have that knowledge, with you, and put that knowledge in practice. And most importantly, for practicing, audit firm, we have many audit firm now. I can share with you lot of things I've seen practicing accountant are doing on field. I'm amazed. So there are quite a number of audit firms that are not embracing the emerging technology. You see an audited financial statement, and you ask yourself, is it your professional colleague that prepared this. So there's a need for the institute. There's a need for us because we are all the institute. We are ICAN. There's a need for us as an institute, to look at a way to revalidate and to ensure that audit firms and members of audit firms, they were trained to ensure to make use of the emergency. Because if that is not done, many of the time will go to assist with the way things are going.
Well, a very brilliant way to end the show today. I sincerely want to appreciate you, Mr. Olawale Abiola, FCA, who have been guesting in the last 45 to 50 minutes on the impact of the emerging technology on accounting profession. Thank you very much for sharing your evening with us on ICAN on Air this particular day. And to all our viewers, I sincerely want to appreciate you for always being there for us to make sure that you tap from the wealth of knowledge of our guests every Tuesday and Wednesday. You try and do me a favor. Don't be on the show alone on Thursday. Try to get in touch with someone to connect and tap from the word of experience. But before I go, let me state that the World Accountants Congress is holding in Mumbai, India, come November 18th to 21st. Our institute is playing a strategic role in that conference. And like the IFAC president said when he visited the country, our institute is a force to be reckoned with in the as a member of IFAC. And at this World Accountant Conference, you'll be missing a lot if you are not out there in Mumbai, India, which will definitely come up November 18th to 21st. Try as much as possible to visit the membership department, connect with the team, visit the website to make sure that you have a broader knowledge of the program that is coming up. I will be coasting out this evening, leaving you in a safe hands to connect with you again on Thursday. Stay tuned and stay safe. I remain your host, Olusegun Okunade, FCA. Bye for now.